Hello guys, I welcome you all to the NG. This is Mithun Mehta. I hope you are making good use of your quarantine time. So let's start today's topic. But before that, I am going to explain you the question that I asked in the previous video. Why factor of half is multiplied in shear strain in the strain tensor? So, as we already seen in the earlier video, when shear strain is applied on one of the plane, stress to balance it will induce in another plane. So it will generate couple. And to balance this couple and the equal and opposite force, another couple will be generated in another two planes. So now let's see an element in which all three planes are shown and how the stress will create deformation in the element. Here, effect of two equal and opposite plane stress is shown individually. Now if we sum up the effect, the end element will be somewhat like this. Now here there is total shear strain is gamma, that is this both angle, but in matrix what we consider is only in the one direction, so the angle will be half and gamma by 2 will be there. So that's why we multiply the factor of half in shear strain in the strain tensor. So now today we will be seeing the different types of loading system. In that, first one is uniaxial loading. As its name suggests, the load is in the axial direction and that is also uni, means in one direction only. Now we are dividing applied load per element. So applied load will be divided into stress per unit element, that is shown by the arrows over here. Now when load is applied, there will be internal stresses generated. Here in axial loading, the stresses generated are uniform. So distribution of stress and strain is also uniform. Also, reaction force at support will be developed. Here an element is shown for how the loading system will be there in uniaxial loading system. Here stress and strain distribution will be identical. Also, for any cross section, every elemental stress and strain will be same. It is said to have efficiency of member 100%. It is because that in beam, stress will be uniform throughout at any cross section area. Means if you take any of the cross section area throughout the beam, the stresses will be same in the plane. Now let's talk about the pure torsion. Pure torsion is the load applied as in the form of the torque. Here the bar is shown torsionally loaded. The element from a bar is shown. Shear stresses are generated in it when it is subjected to pure torsion. When the torsional load applies, all the cross sections is critically loaded. But the elements which are critically loaded are only the circumferential, that is the pi d elements, as the stress is maximum at the circumference only. Or now if we talk about the practical terms, so we can observe that the maximum deformation is at the circumference. So we can say that the maximum stress is at the circumferential, and at central axis the stresses will be 0. Here shear stress due to this pure torsion is shown by equation, that is tau is equal to 16t by pi d cube and tau is equal to t into r by j. Here r is the radial distance from the central axis to the circumference. So as r increases, the shear stress increases linearly as r is proportionally connected with the shear stress, and at the circumferential it will be maximum. Now here an animation is shown which shows twisting of the bar, and the stresses generated are shown by the arrows. As the arrow size increases, the stresses is increasing. So final die of the torsional stress in bar will be somewhat like this. Now the elements is shown separately with shear stress. So it will deform somewhat like this. The gamma is deformation angle as shown here. Total gamma is pi by 2 minus theta, and in one side the strain will be gamma by 2. It was already explained in detail with the stress strain tensor lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Keep your doubts in the comment section and not in your mind. Also like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.